The greatest singer in the world, Elvis Presley. Bruce Springsteen said the thing that he wanted most of all was to sing like him. It is Roy Orbison, whose soaring voice dominated the charts in the 60s and may well be doing so again towards the end of the 80s. Good morning to you, Roy.
Hi, Richard.
I say that because In Dreams has just been re-released, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Yes, we re-recorded In Dreams, and it was in the film Blue Velvet, and we called the director to use part of the film for a video. And he said, well, let's re-record it and I'll direct you singing. So he did, and we did, and yes, it's out now.
And what an accolade. Elvis Presley, the greatest singer in the world, he called you.
Yes, he did. Yes. He was always very complimentary, you know. I think he said he would never play on the same stage with me, but, you know, that was a great way for a Southern boy to pay a compliment.
He has shared a stage with you, hasn't he? He's not played on stage.
Yeah, no, he was introduced at intermission one night when I was appearing in Memphis, and he stole the show and then disappeared and came back afterwards.
Did nothing?
No, just...
Didn't have to.
Didn't have
to. Discovered by Johnny Cash, I'm led to believe, in your earlier days. How did that come about?
We used to have a television show in West Texas, and Johnny came by to be on the show so he could promote his public appearance. And I asked John, and then we got to play on the same show as well, Local Boys. And I asked him how you get on records. And he said, call Sam Phillips at Sun Records and tell him I told you to call. And I did that. And Sam said, Johnny Cash doesn't run my record company, and slammed down the phone.
Oh, yeah.
So I sent him a recording later, and then we did get on the label, but John recommended me.
It's very easy to get it wrong, though, isn't it? And I mentioned that because you didn't think Bob Dylan would make a singer, did you?
I didn't. I didn't know about him as a singer, but he sent me a song, Don't Think Twice, and I didn't reckon the song very much until afterwards.
Now you do.
Now I do, yes, very much. Yeah.
Just before we go any further, bring it all up to date, talk a little bit about the image perhaps, and those glasses which I think are instantly recognisable. Let's just remind ourselves of what it was all about in the 60s, Roy. 30, I think, top 40 hits you've had down the years, and here's one or two of them.
Could have done with more of that. That's terrific.
Hair's a bit longer, but not very much else has changed, has it?
No, not a lot, not a lot.
Put a few pounds on.
A few pounds, but I'm taking those off in the process.
So tell us, how did the image, well, how was it created?
Well, it was a mistake, actually. I played a show in Alabama in 1963, and I left my clear pair on the plane.
Clear pair of glasses?
Of glasses, and I had to go on that night in Alabama with the sunshades on. It wasn't cool in those days. It was, well, I was a bit embarrassed. But anyway, I came to England and for a tour with the Beatles and Jerry and the Pacemakers. And I was worried more about whether I was going to go over well in a foreign country or not. And so they took pictures and they went around the world. Those were the only glasses I had. So
pictures of you in the dark glasses, and the image was
And there's nothing wrong with the eyes, then?
Well, no, I need corrective lenses, but they don't need to be dark.
No, but it is now your trademark.
Yes,
You have to be careful not to leave them behind anywhere. We'll talk more in a few moments. Right now, we'll take a quick break. Absolutely, very good reasons. Roy Orbison is with us, of course. We were talking about his wish to be Napoleon. I was just wondering why, when we were talking about image, why you always go around wearing black? Because you're not a miserable soul.
No, I'm not. No. I don't know. I used to play cowboys and Indians, and when I played cowboys, I had to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I never had a black shirt to wear. So when I grew up and made a bit of money, well, I bought a black shirt and liked them. So
yeah.
It's part of the image too. I don't always wear black, but...
How did the whole career start, the music business? I mean, has it always been in the family?
Yes, I started singing when I was about 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
And fell in love with it straight away, fell in love with my voice, and listened to it and marveled, and it was just wonderful. And that took me on through. I didn't ever really want to do anything else. I studied a bit at the university, a bit of English and history, but it was just something to fall back on, and when I got to thinking about that, I didn't want to fall back on it, so I went ahead and went on tour. And
you have to have a lot of confidence to do that, because all sorts of people, I imagine, would have said to you all along the line, it's not a good business to be in, you'll always be out of work, you'll never have any money to buy a house.
They did, yes, they did, yeah. I guess it was confidence and ego, you know, or I still love it just as much.
Did you ever have a mentor, anyone that you particularly identified with, or a hero that you particularly identified with and said, no, that's the reason I'm going to go on striving?
No, no one in particular. A lot of singers, you know. I was influenced by a lot of singers. We used to have to sing everyone's songs when we played for dances and things. In order for people to come to the dances and pay the money, why we had to sing all the songs that were popular. So a lot of influences from country to pop to the standard songs, but no one individual, you know.
Right, let me just take you back to the image for a moment, because we mentioned the glasses earlier, and the fact that you started wearing dark glasses by accident. A lot of people down the years have wondered, and I've been one of them, is there anything wrong with your sight?
No, I see quite well. I am a bit far-sighted. They're corrective lenses, but I don't need the dark glasses. You know?
Do you find people making allowances for you when you turn up with the dark glasses, thinking that there perhaps is?
Oh, not many, some, but and I only fell once when I was touring. I was in Sydney, Australia, and ran down to the this revolving stage and jumped on it and fell. It was terrible. I was always afraid of that. But I did that only once. Everybody went, oh. And they, you know, it was quite okay after that.
Yeah. But the thing is, it makes you so highly recognisable. You can't go... I mean, you don't go out shopping, do you, and sort of don the colourful... You know, just... you actually would be probably quite difficult to recognise if you wore colourful clothes and didn't wear the glasses.
Yeah, if I didn't wear the glasses, you know, I could go incognito without the dark glasses.
Do you ever want to?
No. It's I'm enjoying the popularity. It's wonderful.
How long have you been in the business now, then?
Successfully for about 30 years.
It's a long time.
Yes. Why has your music stood the test of time, do you think? Why is it still popular?
I don't know. I did have a long time to prepare for the career, too, from 6 years old to 22 or 3. Have no idea why.
Because
why
there is an album which you're just about to release, full of many of your old hits, as I mentioned earlier. 30 top 40s you've had down the years. You're number 9 on the all-time list of UK hitmakers, I understand. Which is extraordinary.
Yeah, it's a re-recording. They weren't. The original company had some financial trouble and went into bankruptcy, and so they weren't available. And so I thought I'd go in and re-record them to make them available for everyone. And I'm also working on a new album for Virgin Records.
Who with?
T-Bone Burnett's the producer, and I've got Elvis Costello's written a song for me, and Bono of U2, and Bruce Springsteen is writing one, and all good things are happening. We just finished a television special, and we used Elvis Presley's rhythm group, his old band, and we used as singers Jackson Browne, Bonnie Raitt, J.D. Souther, and for guitar players we used Elvis Costello and Bruce Springsteen and Tom Waits.
Crumbs, it's quite a
Springsteen
lineup.
in your backing lineup, eh?
Just to use Bruce Springsteen
Great.
as a
It came
guitarist.
out wonderfully well. It should be out January, February.
Do you,
So
sorry, I was about to ask, do you work because you have to or because you like to?
Both. You know, I wouldn't be any good if I didn't work. I wouldn't be a good husband or father or friend or, you know. I function much better when I'm working. And I like doing it. You know?
Well, I was going to say, do you still find the business exciting?
Oh yes,
Obviously
yes,
do.
very much so. Yeah, yeah. It's a great business, and I'm really enjoying it more now than ever before.
Oh, great. Well, it's lovely to meet you. It's
Thank
a
you.
privilege to meet you.
It really
because
is.
You're one of those people that you always admire and have always admired and never get to meet usually. So thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you.
I ought to tell you, we've had loads and loads of letters from people saying, you know, give us a special hello to Roy Orbison when he comes in.
Great.
So it's a
thanks.
special hello from all our
All
viewers.
right, great.
We look forward to seeing you at the Palladium soon. I know you're doing the Palladium live
Yes.
again soon,
Mhm.
aren't you?
Yes.
Smashing.